I hope I won't have to do that at the end. Aww. We have some quality time again between Hideyoshi and Eva. Tahando! I missed your face! I missed your smile! That's so adorable! The most suspicious person, right now, for everyone else, would be Hideyoshi. That's so weird. That's so weird. That's so freaking weird. I assume this change of form is just a viewer perspective. That might be the most terrifying death. Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Umineko. Yeah, apparently, judging by the comments on the last two episodes, I'm not the only one that was confused as hell when he reached the ceremony part. So I'm glad I'm not the only one, and apparently some of my thoughts were actually good, so I feel better now. Not all my theories and thoughts were bad and wrong, so thanks. And yeah, I guess we'll just continue and try to think about Epitaph a little bit more, because I might not be able to solve it by myself until it's revealed. But it's so damn hard. Some people can do this, but some people can't. I don't know if I can, judging by how I operate with Umineko currently, and in general with visual novels I'm reading on the channel. But I will do my best. I will give my best shot, so... Anyway, let's continue the story and let's see what's going to happen. And yeah, so let's go. Rosa returned to the lobby. It was still her turn to rest, but her expression made it look as though she couldn't sleep deeply with all this tension. True.
どうしても寝つけなくて。シャワーだけ浴びさせてもらったから、私はもう十分よ。次の人、休んでもいいわ。キリエさんたちはいかがですか？どうする？ルドルフさん。休ませてもらう？
キリエは休んでいいぜ。俺は起きてる。それくらいしか男らしいことができない。
じゃあ起きてるわ。
Yeah, like none of them is going to sleep. Like, wow.
夫と一緒に起きてるくらいしか女らしいことができないから。
Wow. Okay.
本当に仲のおよろしいことで。
They are. They really seems like it. They seem like trust each other, at least, and yeah. I think they're doing great. This is a good couple.
夏日さんこそね。
エヴァと秀吉さんはぐっすりみたいじゃないか。やはりローザと違い、年には勝てんね。
Wow. I mean, Rosa is the youngest, so there's no much of fighting against her age. As though in response to those words, the door to the hall clanked open. Hello. Even Hideyoshi returned from the guest room.
余計なお世話よ。あらローザ、もう休んでなくていいの？姉さんこそ無理しないで休んでたら？
Yeah, she's afraid that if she goes to sleep, then Rosa will just tell everyone about what happened.
シャワーを浴びたら眠気が覚めちゃったわ。ルドルフたち、よかったら休んでいいわよ。
おう、サンキュー。今は気持ちだけでいいぜ。兄貴たち、先に休んだらどうだ？ありがたいね。だが先に休むわけにはいかん。それくらいしか長男らしいことができないのでね。
私たちは最後まで起きていますので、ご心配なく。それよりエヴァ姉さん、大丈夫？少し顔色が悪いわ。
Yeah, because she's stressed, because she don't want to reveal anything for now.
そういや、そうやな。ん？ちょいと熱っぽいで。
Hideyoshi put his hand up against Eva's forehead. It seems that Eva wasn't feeling her best.
言わんこっちゃねえ。年のくせに生活リズムを崩す
からだぜ。
風邪か？ 夏日、上野南條先生を呼んできてくれんかね。
はい。いいわ、そこまで大げさじゃない。常備薬は持ってるから大丈夫よ。疲れるとすぐ熱に出るの。心配しないで。
Okay, is that a thing? Like, actually, like in real life, if you like, are there like cases when you are tired, then you get fever, basically? Is that how it works?
姉さん、無理しないで。
I'm not sure if my microphone is alright because it looks like it's very silent for some reason, and I'm not sure why. This is kind of weird. Huh. Well, if I will need it, then I will just amp it up later on.
ありがとう。私抜きで兄弟が集まってると、私
And
の
ominous
陰
music
口でも言われて
started.
るような気がしちゃってね。昔からの被害妄想なの。ごめんね。
私は何も言わないわよ。姉さんのいないところで姉さんの嫌な話なんて。どうしたの姉さん、さっきから変。もう少し休んだら？
そうね。3月までの金策を考えたら頭痛がひどくなってきちゃったわ。
Money by March, yep.
それは良くないわね。休んでて。姉さんの頭痛がひどくならないよう私も実調してるわ。私だって頭痛さっきから辛いし。
ありがとう。じゃあ私お言葉に甘えてもう少し休ませてもらうわね。
Now I think about it, I should rest too. I started recording and now I have a headache, a little bit, like slight. I hope I can still think clearly.
どうしたんやエヴァ、急にへそ曲げて。すまんな、わしらもうちょい休ませてもらうわ。すまんな、すまんな。
After apologizing several times as though praying, Hideyoshi followed Eva out of the lobby. Yeah, just before Umineko I've recorded 2 episodes of Muramasa.
空気が悪い。
And Muramasa is other series than Umineko that makes me think a lot, actually, about the story and hidden clues and everything, so yep. Maybe I should have made Little Busters first. It's more simple. Probably.
どうにもギスギスしている。
無理もない。早朝に殺人事件、それからずっとここで銃を抱きながら缶詰ですもの。ストレスが溜まって当然ね。
上の子たちもだいぶストレスが溜まってる。マリアが心配だわ。こういう時は感触を起こし
Yeah,
やすい。
Maria is non-existing in this chapter. Like, she just don't exist. She could be like, yeah, she's just dead. In that moment, they heard the sound of wild footsteps coming from the 2nd floor. The guest house wasn't a cheap building, so they wouldn't normally have heard the sound of footsteps. It was like the sound of someone stamping their feet in frustration. An instant later, accompanied by what seems to be sound of her running out into the 2nd floor hallway. I could hear Maria calling "Oh!" over and over again. Sounds displeased. Huh. Okay. Rosa grabbed her head, her hair flying, and she voicelessly moaned in anguish. The others what the fuck is this word? Conscientiously? Turned their backs to her, pretending not to notice. So this word means just like pretending, just unintentional go back to someone. The noisy clamor came down from the 2nd floor and flew into the lobby. Hello everyone, why are you so distressed? It was Maria who was sobbing, along with the other children and Nanjo. In other words, they all came downstairs because of Maria's tantrum. Rosa couldn't hide her dizziness at this new annoyance her daughter was bringing to everyone.
ごめんローザおばさん、私たちもなだめたんだけど、どうしても聞いてくれなくて。
Just when I was saying like Rosa Maria was non-existent in the story. Maybe we'll get a little bit, at least a little bit of Maria. I don't think her appearance in chapter 3 for now makes her even B tier character. I think if I would do tier list right now, she would be like C or maybe D. Because she's just non-existent and I don't remember her at all. So I hope I won't have to do that at the end. Because I really like her.
Maria? 少し静かにしなさい。みんな見てるわよ。
例のバラ庭園のマリアのバラ。
Okay.
あれが急に心配だと言い出して。寝ぼけたみたいなんです。急にガバッと起き出して、バラが心配だ、バラが心配だって言い出して。
Okay.
マリアちゃん、それは夢なんだよ。
Okay, that's kind of a weird thing to just suddenly starting to care about. I mean, she was okay, not that far along, not that long time ago. And suddenly she just decided to get mad about this. Wow. I really liked how Rosa started to yell and we had a thunder at the same time. Wow, I really like that. The sudden rise in the tones of Rosa's voice surprised the children, but Maria crying just grew louder, and her tantrum just grew fiercer.
ローザさん、子供を頭ごなしに叱ってはいけませんぞ。
Well, that's normal for her.
こういう時は温かい牛乳などを与えると良いものです。
Nah. Maybe you're right, but in Maria's case, when she's so obsessed with Beatrice and everything, she would just like throw this milk away.
さっき朝食代わりに出した牛乳で空っぽです。
誰か子供用の鎮静剤とか持ってるか？
Static, okay.
ほら、あの銀の粒みたいなやつとか。
Wow.
持ってるわよ。ああ、今探して飲ませるから。
Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed a handbag that had been set on the sofa and fished around for some medicine. It seemed she had brought some child-use sedatives for Maria tantrums. Is she going to take it though, or they will like force it on her somehow? How will she swallow it? She found it and opened the bottle, but it must have been empty. Irritated Rosa shook the bottle several times, but it didn't change the fact there was nothing in there. As she did that, Maria crying grew even more intense. Well, that's bad. They went outside in the end? No? Okay. At that time, Eva was lying on her bed, covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water.
こら、ずいぶんひどい熱や。
Aww. We have some quality time again between Hideyoshi and Eva. Last time we saw them like being in private together was in episode 1 and I really liked that. That was the reason why Hideyoshi was kinda high on the tier list, I think, if I remember correctly. And Eva also was high because of that. It was very short, but so impactful for me.
にやられてもうたんやな。今はもう他の親族たちのことは全部忘れるんや。
Yep, Hideyoshi cares about her.
な。
As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief on Eva's burning forehead. Eva rested her own hand on top of his.
あなたの手
Oh, and we have some cool, calm music.
ひんやりして気持ちいい。
わしの手が気持ちいいようじゃだいぶ熱が出とるな。
Wow.
安心せい。すぐに薬が効いてくるわ。
I'm so happy in this episode.
それにな、わしの手は魔法の手ない。こうしてエヴァの額に手を当てとるとな、どんな熱も立ちどころに治ってしまうんや。
そうね。あなたの手で私の熱が引かなかったことは一度。
そうや、わしの手があれば医者いらずやで。安心して目をつむるんや。すぐにわしの魔法でぐんぐん熱が。
うん、知ってる。あなたの魔法感じるもの。
Hideyoshi was about to say it was just a placebo effect, but he stopped. Eva said she could feel magic coming from his hand, and that was fine for now.
魔法って
Wow.
本当にあるのかしら。
おお、あるで。信じる者にしかわからへんけどな。そういう魔法は案外世の中にたくさんあるもんや。
He's going with this.
魔法が実在するなら、やっぱり魔女。
Ah.
森の魔女ベアトリーチェのことかい。信じる者にはおるやろな。
For those who believe. Wow, that's actually very good way to say that, actually.
神様と同じや。
Pretty much. Yeah. I didn't thought about that analogy, actually.
信心深い人の前にしか姿は現さんのや。
私もね、昔魔法が使えたの。
Okay.
ほんま。じゃあお前も魔女やったんやな。
私がね、絶対に叶えたい夢、それを強く願って努力すると、それは必ず叶ったの。私はその魔法でいつも成績は一番だったし、生徒会長にだってなったし、入りたい大学にも実力
I
で
mean, isn't that just hard working? It's not actually magic. They always talk about magic with Eva, but they don't give any examples or anything, so I assume this is just her hard working, so she's like, I don't know, magic of perseverance? Something like that?
いつだって
Maybe?
どんな願いだって叶えてきたわ。
そうやな。お前の魔法はいつだって大したもんや。お前は確かに魔女や。そして誰にも負けん努力家や。わしゃよう知っとる。
私ね、子供の頃からずっと心の中にもう一人の自分がいて。
Yup, and she inherited like
励ましてくれたの。
being Beatrice apparently. I wonder why Eva is like. It seems like this Eva, like her like main personality, is not aware of that, unless she actually split it
そして
and have
その自分は魔女だったわ。
the self was a witch. Yep.
森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんて信じなかった。もし六軒島に魔女がいるとしたら、それは私の心の中の魔女のことだって、ずっとその魔女の自分にあなたに出会わせてくれてよかったなって。
病気の時のお前はいつも気弱すぎや。今は何も言わんで熱が下がるまでずーっとこうし、
絶対に手を離さないでね。なんだか私、自分が自分でなくなるような気がして。
Oh wow. Is this foreshadowing?
さっきから怖いの。私の中の魔女がベアトリーチェに触発されてどんどん強くなるような気がして。
That's so foreshadowing. That's so foreshadowing.
なんだか私を飲み込んでしまいそうな気がするの。
Well, I think we'll have to say goodbye to our Eva soon.
大丈夫や。
And welcome the other Eva.
わしが一緒にいる限り、なんも恐れることなんてあらへん。ほら、ちょいとヤバめな国に旅行に行った時、バスごと強盗にあったことあったやろ。わしが撃退したんやで。
You did? Wow, actually, Hideyoshi is... Okay.
あなた金時計を渡して拝み倒しただけだったじゃない。
I mean, that's a way to make Robert go away. I guess. Also the safest option. I mean, your life is more important than gold to watch. And some begging.
かっこ悪いけど
Yeah.
かっこよかったわ。
Pretty lame, but it was cool at the same time. I agree. This gives me so... Actually, this gives me a vibe about Muramasa, about Kageaki, Minato. It's giving me so much vibes of him, like... Wow.
この手
At least some part of him.
絶対に離さないでね。眠っても絶対に離さないでね。そして何か不気味なものが忍び込んできても私を守ってね。
おう、任せとかんだから、今は安心して眠るんやで。
It may also foreshadow the death of Hideyoshi, maybe.
すぐに薬とわしの魔法が効いてくるからな。
I just thought about that. What if Eva loses herself to like this other personality, the other Eva, and she will kill Hideyoshi and he will have like this scare and regret in his eyes, like why did you do that? That would be wow. I will call for now that's what will happen. Because it fits Umineko standards, I think. To have some terrible deaths. Especially with like Eva Hideyoshi and George and Shannon. Like these four people, they have like the saddest death scenes in like first episode and second episode. So I would say this trend goes into episode 3 as well. Eva finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes. And that's when another one emerges. Okay. At that time, there was sound of door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seems that Maria was having a tantrum. Oh, okay. That's when he hears that. And screams of ooh, ooh could be heard, along with Rosa rebuking yells. That probably hurts Eva's ears. Or maybe it was giving her a headache. Eva moaned as through in pain and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria had probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down to the lobby, and started arguing with Rosa, who then scolded her daughter. And then, maybe that got too embarrassed to be shown in front of the other relatives, so Rosa had taken Maria out to the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to butt in on Rosa and Maria problem. But just for now, since Eva's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their ruckus somewhere else.
ちょいと待っとれや。静かにするようお願い。
早く戻ってきて。
Yeah.
大丈夫や。この部屋から出んて。
Yeah, you can just open the door and just scream at them. Just shut the fuck up. Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa
大
Case.
丈夫かいなローザさん
I'm sorry, did all this noise wake you? She's hitting her. Wow, even if Hideyoshi looking. Oh no, it might be Maria actually like hitting a wall or stomping on the floor.
マリアちゃん
Yeah,
ごめんな
okay.
エヴァおばさんな具合が悪くてすまんがちょいと静かにしてもらえるか
Maria tone didn't change after Hideyoshi request. She kept crying, oh, and repeating, my rose, my rose. Oh, yeah. Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and dragged her towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. She would still probably be noisy for a while, but he had warned Rosa for the time being. Relying on Rosa's actions' mother, Hideyoshi closed the door.
またマリアちゃんが泣いてるの
Yep.
そうみたいやなローザさんも大変やそれを思えばうちのジョージはできすぎや
George is almost too good to be true.
親が感謝したいくらいやで
そうね
おおすまん
Yeah, the hand, the hand.
ほら
The hand!
魔法の手やで
Sorry, I just had to. He put his hand on Eva's forehead again. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look, Rosa to Eva's face, and bit by bit, she began to drift off into the land of sleep. As he had promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. Let me know in the comments if you are still with me on this part. I'm testing you. I wonder how many people just skipping stuff. That's a key information for me, actually. Because maybe I'm not doing good job in entertaining. And I should change my way of doing stuff. Maybe. By the entrance, with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at loss at what to do next. I was happy at the beginning, but now it's like a sad episode actually. It shifted so fast. Also this music, just listen to this. It sounds like something terrible would happen, or just like after something terrible happened. It's like music that you can cry to. She hadn't been able to withstand everyone's gaze in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs, dashing out of the lobby. Then she had gone out in the corridor, only to have Hideyoshi say that she was too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? She felt as though tears of frustration were about to come out. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear and tried to persuade Maria in a properly calm voice. Oh?
マリアはそんなにもバラが見たいのね
Maria nodded, her head several times moaning, ooh.
どうしてそんなにバラが見たいのお母さんが聞いてあげるから静かに話して叫んだら殴るわよ
Yeah.
マリアのバラベアトリーチェに蘇らせてもらったのまた折れちゃってるかもマリアはそれが心配
Okay.
確かめないと眠れない
So we want to... I mean, if you take umbrella, then you can just go outside and check the garden, right? You would still be soaked because this is basically a thunder. I mean, not a thunder, but yeah, typhoon. But yeah, it's not that big deal, I guess. Apparently, she was still upset about that marked roll from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache troubling again, but she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming.
とにかく今はみんな大変なの。だからママたちに迷惑をかけないで。バラの話は明日雨が上がったら好きにしていいから。
Yeah.
だから今は聞き分けなさい。
やだマリアのベアトリーチェのバラ。
Yeah, you cannot persuade Maria. She's so freaking stubborn. Oh. Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and gotten agitated again. Rosa realized that was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought that was directed at her, and she, crying, grew even fiercer.
お願いだから静かに。どうしたらあなたは泣き止むの？どうしたらあなたはママの言うことを聞いてくれるの？
Oh? What is that? Why Maria just stopped? Suddenly, Maria stopped crying, so fast that it seems unnatural. Then she turned around and muttered, "Hello, Maria! I missed your face! I missed your smile! That's so adorable!" Let me know in the comments if you missed Maria like that. Because I certainly did.
マリアのバラを見たらちゃんと明日まで静かにしてるよ。
That's why Maria is such a good character.
本当？
Yeah, what did you expect it?
うん。バラ庭園に行ってマリアのバラを見たら
Wow.
もうおとなしくする。
Wow, this is not something that a child would say, like that calmly and... Wow. On the other hand, you can just see right now that her crying and screaming is probably just an act. I feel like her scream and crying right now is just an act, just to get Rosa to let her do whatever she wants, basically. Basically, she's spoiled, I would say. If we would like not think about magic and how weird she is, actually, and only on like relationships of like mother-daughter and kid-parent, I would say that she's so spoiled that she's just acting very rudely just to make a parent to give her whatever she wants. And she's not really crying, she's just like, I want to go to the garden, but it's raining, no one will go with me there, so... until someone just go with her. But still, Mario character is top notch.
本当だよ、ママ。
This is so ominous. This is so weird. Like literally, I have chills every time when I see Maria like this. It's like totally different person than her usual self. When we have Maria in like her normal happy state when she's like talking with everyone and stuff, and we compare it to this is a different person. What if Maria is like Eva? What if Maria have split personality? I was talking about Maria's split personality in the chapter 1, I think. When we had like these shifts, like very drastic shifts in her personality. I was thinking like maybe she's like maybe she have illness, you know? Maybe she have like, I think that was schizophrenia? That gives you like some personality, behavior, changes and stuff. I think that was it. Maybe she is. Maybe she has some kind of illness. We don't know. At least I don't know. Because it's so weird It makes my brain just trying to collect everything and put it together. Like, why is she like that? Might be just because she's spoiled, might be because she have illness, might be because she's influenced by Beatrice. I don't know, there can be a lot of things. Either way, she's very interesting. And the more I have her on screen, the better. If it would keep Maria quiet for the time being, Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. Yep, that's what I said before, like just grab umbrella and just go, not big deal. She thought it might be a bit reckless, but in the end, no murder or anything of that sort had actually occurred. All of that clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kinzo. Yeah, that's the assumption. If you are carefully thought about that chain of closed rooms, it clearly had to be all an act.
本当にバラを見たらもうおとなしくする？
本当だよ、ママ。
Wow, that's... Wow, this voice. This voice. Who's the voice actor for Maria? Let me know in the comments. I want to see more, like, where she played. Wow. And that's that. Yeah, you just laughed weirdly. So we got hit. Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist. And she shrugged, as would given up.
わかったわ。一目見たら納得するのよ。いいわね。
ママ。
Wow, such sinister face.
約束する。
Okay, finally, Maria episode. Holy shit, I've waited for this like for so long. Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. Also, it was such a long time. I saw Maria last time. I actually forgot that meeting of Maria and Beatrice before that Beatrice fixed the rose for Maria. I actually forgot about that, believe it or not. It's been such a long time. Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. It will be okay. It's only an act. There was never murder on this island in the first place. Oh, Butler. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They are close together. But, oh yeah, but I thought in my theory... For some reason, I thought they won't be sacrificed. I thought like... Oh yeah, but back then we didn't have Eva Beatrice. I thought like second sacrifice would be George and Hideyoshi or George and Eva. If I'm correct. But it's... Okay, but now we have Eva Beatrice. And I assume that we'll lose our Eva. And she will basically get mind overwritten. I just call it like mind overwritten, but yeah, just the other personality just take over. And maybe she will kill one of these? Maybe Hideyoshi? And for second Twilight, then yeah, that would make sense that these two. Could be also the other ones, but yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Okay, I will just read, because I'm wasting too much time, I think. I will just make like short thoughts, basically.
今の親父たちや俺たちは何をしてるんだ。
ローザ親子の痛々しい関係に気を使って
わざわざ話題を変えておるぞ。
Yep.
そなたらも2階へ上がり、テレビを見ながら話題を変えておる。
Yeah, pretty much.
誰か気づけよ。一番近くにいるのは誰だよ。秀吉おじ頼むよ。玄関から2人が出ていくのを気づいてくれよ。
It depends where the room is, because he can. If the room is like from the, like for example, this window, and it's looking on the garden, then Hideyoshi can still spot them in the garden.
届かん届かん。2人のささやかな時間を邪魔してくれる。
Also, I'm very surprised. Yeah, I think I know why I excluded the Rosa and Maria as second Twilight. Because in the episode 1 and 2, Maria basically was invincible. And I assumed that she will not be killed until the very end, at least. Because she believed in Beatrice so much and everything, and she was like basically promised protection, as she said in the second chapter, that if you believe in Beatrice, you'll be safe. And then she like consoled the butler when he was like crying and everything. So I'm kinda surprised that they're going to kill off Eva like that. I mean Maria. Ah. Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Eva's forehead. He didn't notice at all that Rose and Maria were going outside through the front door. In that case, there was no way the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice. Much less those in the cousin's room on the second floor. Yeah, I mean, Butler, you just... This is the thing that I said before when we had like these closed rooms. If Butler theory about these closed rooms were that the culprit died in the accident and was one of these 8 people, then it all get crumbled if someone else dies. Unless the culprit actually had someone else to help him out outside and there's another one that is actually alive. And in this case, I would say the most how do I say that? Suspicious, yeah, I forgot the word. The most suspicious person right now for everyone else would be Hideyoshi, I think. In current situation, if Maria and Rosa dies, Hideyoshi would be the most suspicious one, because he's not with everyone else basically. Eva is bedridden, so she's too weak to do anything, and he could just sneak away when Eva is like sleeping, you know, and just kill them. That's what I think, that he will be like the main suspect after this. We still have Nanjo, but I have a feeling like Hideyoshi would be like more, unless Eva kills Hideyoshi, like I said. Anyway, I think like this soon episode, this or maybe later on, the story will shift into like Hideyoshi. I feel like Hideyoshi will be kinda important. We'll see. Yeah, but that doesn't mean there can be another one.
この島に犯人はおらぬことになるぞ。何を心配する必要があるという。うるせえよ、しらしらしいんだよ。誰か引き止めろ。2人が殺されるんだ。誰か止めろ。
There was no way that Butler's voiceless scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be sitting in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that was unfortunate. Also, I really hope that the game will explain to me like I said, I don't think in this chapter I ever talked about that. You know what I want to say? What's a freaking correlation between the other place where the butler is from the episode 1 or even before episode 1, because one of my theories is that this game is on still before even chapter 1, like this butler, original one, is not from chapter 1, it's like, he's like actually from before. He might be from chapter 1, or he might be from before. But what's the correlation between this place that no one can hear and this board, basically, of game that they have? I'm not going to think about this. This is just stressing me out. I have enough things to worry about, I think. And I don't think I'm able to actually grasp a concept behind this. Also, now I think about this, like, this magic theory and the scientific theory, like, Butler is in some weird place and he's playing a board game or whatever the game. Like, where he is, it's clearly not normal. I mean, he can blame this. Actually, yeah, the place where Butler is doesn't actually mean that magic exists. Now I just thought about this. We may explain that the place where the Butler is, like his imagination, you know? He might be like, for example, captured, right? Maybe he was maybe after this whole situation in the episode 1, for example, ended, right? He was captured and given drugs, basically. So he's like in some place, drugged, and he have like hallucinations, and maybe he's like speaking with someone and he thinks that Beatrice, and that's what's going on. Maybe he's just crazy. And this whole, like, game, it doesn't, like, matter. Because it's not true, either for him or for us. And the true game will be revealed after, like, maybe someone saves him, like, in the last chapter or something? What if this whole thing is just a delusion? Wow. Have you heard that kind of theory before? Let me know in the comments. That I don't know. I think it would be a cool concept for the story. Actually, if we can just get like full game, like make you think about everything and stuff, and then suddenly it's just snapped back to the reality. Wow. I don't know, I'm excited about this stuff. I'm excited about that. But this is the only way I can make any sense for now. Any sense out of this place where the butler is and Beatrice is fighting, basically, in this game. The correlation between these two places. This is the only way I can think about, for now at least. That makes sense. Because yeah, delusions and hallucinations. You can make anything out of this. That's a simple solution, I guess. Let's go. Because maybe, if the wind had been a diffuser, Rosa might have hesitated to go outside. Good, now go away, now go back. Before you die, at some point. I wonder how they will die. Because all deaths, I mean not all, but most of them, were off screen. So I wonder what will happen. Maria found her rose with the gold lass and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted the promise under the condition that Maria would only get one look at it But she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on, so she decided to go along with Maria until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, but on the off chance that she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. After glancing at Maria's innocent happiness, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Whoop! We have golden butterflies. Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there. She thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden. Gold-colored? It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seems as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes. Oh, what's going on? Why Eva is she like agitated? Is she wants to like go and check on someone? Or Rosa? Yeah, she have a fever. I'm so sure that she will like get. We will lose this Eva and we'll get like Eva Beatrice in her place. I'm so sure of it. This is not a normal fever. This is not a normal fever. So this is not just a split personality. This is just like actual like second being inside of her. I mean, by scientific thoughts, then it should be like second personality. And from magic perspective, it could be just another person. Well, let's just continue, and I think I'm right. I think we'll lose Eva. This is the only thing that keeps her sane for now. I wonder. Eva was breathing widely. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night, and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that this sudden fever was the sign of some serious illness. Several times, Hideyoshi decided to call for Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted firmly, pleading with him, and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away. I actually have chills. There's so many things that's happening. Even she said that Eva's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. Oh my god, oh yeah. So many things are happening. She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Rosa threw away her umbrella and Willie lifted her gun. When she did, the shadow of a person beyond the bush showed itself. What?
びっくりしたわ。
Isn't this the same time at the same time? It's not happening at the same time? There's a little bit like shift in time, as there's a little bit after, and Eva's situation is a bit like earlier.
姉さんなの？何かご用？さっきの話の続きなの？
That's so weird. That's so weird. That's so freaking weird. This is not Eva. What happened to Hideyoshi? Is he actually dead? Did I predict that right? Is it Eva Beatrice?
ええ、そうよ。お父様の黄金の話よ。
お願いだからマリアの前では遠慮して。
Oh my god.
ちゃんと約束は守ってるわよ。姉さんの悪巧みの邪魔はしないわ。
悪巧み？何それ？
姉さんが何を考えていても勝手よ。私は邪魔する気なんてない。だからマリアの前では許して。私は分け前さえもらえれば十分。
分け前？
We can hear it. Can you hear it? The young Eva? I just hear the young Eva in this voice. I was right. We just lose our event. We got another one. I guess both of them are the same person, but different personalities. Eva started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled by but Maria started blankly. So she will kill both of them. I mean, if I have pretty good reason to kill Rosa, but she would not do that in her like normal state of mind, and she just went crazy. Then Maria said just one thing. Let me guess. Beatrice? Oh. Okay, not the Beatrice. She just realized that this is not Eva she knows. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, don't make me laugh. I'm just going to kill you and get everything for myself. And that voice is so different. The voice changed instantly. Wow, to me, Beatrice. What is happening? Is this before? Okay, I just have to continue because I need to figure out what's going on. Or is it the same? Or is it the same time? And it's actually personality that split out of her. But that would be about the magic theory then. We need to figure out how to make the scientific reason for that. If that's the case. Okay, so this is before. So she's about to change personality. Hello, Eva. Hello, new Beatrice. How did you change form? Suddenly. I guess this is just for the viewer perspective. I assume this change of form is just a viewer perspective to give a form to Eva Beatrice. I have a feeling like the characters like Maria and Rosa still sees her as Eva. I think that's the point here. Because there's no way that they will just look at her and say this is Eva. Also, faces of this Eva are pretty amazing. I have to admit. Wow, Maria is so into it. God damn it. Wow, she just accepted that. She just accepted that like that. Well, wow. Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high.
姉さんよね。姉さんなのよね。違うわ。私はもはやあなたの姉であった存在ではないの。
I still Yeah, there's no way that she sees her as in this outfit. Yeah, I will assume this is just for viewer perspective. It would make sense to me. Otherwise. She won't be asking if this is Eva or anything. She have like totally different like hairstyle. She looks younger. She have like this weird outfit. He have this like cane or stuff. There's no way Rosa would look at her and think this is Eva. So yeah, this is just for viewer perspective. That's what I think.
あんた誰なのよ。ベアトリーチェだとでも言うの。そんなはずはない。あんたは19年前に死んだのよ。ええ、確かに死んでいたわ。だって私、あなたの頭が割れているところをはっきり見たもの。
Okay, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. I don't want to think about this. My head is hurting. What is she saying now? Is she saying Eva actually? Or is she saying this form?
その中身が溢れ出しているのを昨日のことのように思い出せ。そのあんたがどうして生きてここにいるのよ。黄金の魔女に死の概念などないの。
Wow, she's like, huh?
黄金の魔女とベアトリーチェの名は永遠に受け継がれてるか。お前が知っていたベアトリーチェは死を迎えたかもしれないが、今やそれは私の名である。ゆえに無限。
Pretty much.
ベアトリーチェに死の概念はないの。あの黄金に気が触れたとしか思えない。
So maybe she just sees actually Eva.
哀れね、姉さん。もはや私はお前の姉ではないという。さて、新しきベアトリーチェとして自らの復活の儀式を引き。
Task with my own resurrection ceremony. Holy fuck, that's good.
ロノウェ、私はどうすればいいの？
Hello, Ronowe.
ご随意のまま、もはやベアトリーチェ様にはどのような思いも実現できない。
Whatever you think, reality. So she don't even have to train her power. She just got. So she get like all the memories and the concepts of her magic as well in the ceremony. Does it mean like Beatrice basically is inheriting everything, like memories and stuff? So each next Beatrice is more powerful than one before. Maybe that's the case. Like maybe that's always the case.
少し扱えば慣れるでしょう。
不甲斐なき元妹よ。私が魔女として初めて捧げる最初の生贄に選ばれたことを光栄に思うがいい。
First sacrifice. Well, the second have to be Maria.
第2の番に寄り添う二人を私がこの手で引き裂く。
Yep. Wow, change of music. Is that new soundtrack? I think this is a new soundtrack. Is it just specifically for Eva Beatrice? The first thing the new Beatrice wished for? No, the first magic she tried to use was to surpass the limitations given to humans. In particular, gravity. Wait, what? She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into the witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stay as they were, the ground retreated all by itself in the distance below them. Oh my gosh, she's going to drop Rosa into ground. What a terrible fate. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. Rosa finally realized that the earth wasn't retreating in the distance below them, but that she and the witch were being sucked up into the rainy sky. Yeah. Wow. Wow. What a face! She's so satisfied with her own power. For a human shackled to the ground by gravity, there's no more unnerving than having their feet stop sticking to the ground. However, the Beatrice, when becoming the new witch, had learned the joy of being released from gravity. It was enough to make her whole body shake with delight. Wow. Wow! This is new face. We never saw Beatrice like previous Beatrice making this face. That's good. Yeah, and now go down because you are not witch. Yeah. Yeah, stop it. She will stop magic, alright? Wow. Oof. Oof. I think I know how it will end. I have a feeling like Rosa will not just drop down. I have a feeling like she will drop Rosa down on Maria. That's how we will have two sacrifices. Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Didn't we both wish we could fly like seagulls in the sky and escape the cramped and boring island of Rokkenjima? Now I'll make that dream a reality for you. I only want to share this joy with you, and no one else. Wow. Sorry, I'm not talking, but I have nothing to add. The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around in a whirlwind, as the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them. They shook with a joy of being released from the ground. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly, screaming over and over. Oh, she will let you down. Yeah. Ow. A slightly displeased expression rose to Witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared. Then she decided to listen to her former sister's request. That's a terrible thing, like, imagine just going down, knowing that you will die, and that fear. Ah. Nope, nope, nope. The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance around grew weaker and stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bounded by restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground upside down. Now she began to fall. The witch had intended to send Rosa plummeting. Really? But she still wasn't used to using magic. After plummeting about 100 meters in the rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. What's my reaction? But the witch hadn't intended to kill her. What do you mean she hadn't intended to kill her? She just said like, you will be my first sacrifice. Beatrice, please make your mind. Like, you want to kill her or you don't want to kill her. It's either of these. You can do both. So she wished that Rosa hadn't died. Oh, for fuck's sake, she's I didn't thought about that. She's the endless witch. She can revive anyone she wants. And do it forever, like over and over. Like we had the torture scene in the end of the second chapter. That's so good. This is so good episode. When she did, gold butterflies called about Rosa's body, reviving that life, just as the witch had wished. What the fuck? Rosa's body, which should have been spread out like carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. Torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take life, but no human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversible one, proves that they have surpassed humanity. This surely gave her a much greater realization of her position as a witch than flying through the sky had. Yeah, pretty much.
もちろんです。ベアトリーチェ様はすでに無限の魔女であらせられます。生きることも死す、生かすことも殺すことも、すべては
Repeat
その
attentively.
輪廻を支配する女王こそが無限の
This is crazy.
金魚鉢を落としたことがあるわ。涼しげな美しい鉢が割れてしまって、床に叩きつけられた可愛いデメキンは二度と泳ぐ姿を見せてくれなかった。私がいくら泣いても使用人たちは壊れたものと死んだものは蘇らせられあの時物は壊しちゃいけない
Wow, and now once I can fix them, I can just break and kill people, because I can just fix them. Holy shit! This is dangerous. And terrifying. Yeah! Wow, she's so broken. That's so broken. I mean, her personality is broken, and this power is broken. Okay, how do I explain this without using magic? For now, since Rosa is apparently alive again, we can say that nothing happened. Right? There's no proof that she died. Like Butler said before. For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she had inherited was. Her love was pure, innocent and cruel. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish at the pain from the fall. At that point, the witch landed and held out her hand. Sorry, I just killed you. That wasn't intentional, but I fixed you. That's fine. What the fuck? I wonder if previous Beatrice was also the same when she attained her power. Because she's just like testing stuff. She's just like overflowing with ecstasy about having these amazing things at her hand. Wow. What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. Even drowning you in a sea of jelly. Wow. Even having you get sucked into a mountain of cake. I can even make you sprout butterfly wings and flit around the garden, okay? I will do them one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, alright? Oh my god, is she going to... Oh. Kill her over and over, really? Rosa once again, thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, but with drops of orange juice. What is going on? When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared, and the ground spread out beneath her was like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. It was an ocean of jelly, like the one she had spoken of from her dreams when she was young. The black part was coffee jelly, the red was strawberry, yellow was pineapple, and green was a melon. You can't eat all of this. What was the white part? Apple? Did Rosa even have the time to think about stuff like that? Rosa fell towards the multicolored ocean. That's so bad. What? And she sank deep into a purple grape flavored sea. Well, at least she had something good to eat before she drowned. What the fuck? It was really ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean. They were probably made of grape skin. Then she sank on, deeper and deeper, as deep as Marian's stench, crushed by the water pressure of Jelly Ocean, as her ribs snapped, as her spine snapped. In the end, she became a small, frail meatball. Wow. The instant that snapped my fingers, the meatball that had been Rosa was launched up to the sky. And we are back to the beginning? Fuck. And after being wrapped up in golden sparkle, she returned to her original form. It was as simple and easy as turning dried seaweed to its original form, and anyone could do it. If they were a witch. That absent-minded look on Rosa's face has to be the joy from having the dreams she gave up on as a smile, as a child come true. Yeah, that's not that. Yeah, definitely, probably. Nope. Next is the mountain of cake. Wow, this episode will be so long. I swear, this is going to be the longest episode of Umineko I've recorded. I think I will put this in the single episode because I don't think stopping just before this justified the episode. The only thing that happened before this was like Maria crying and stuff. And this is very, very good stuff right now. I don't think the previous things deserve its own episode basically. In an instant the sky was covered and became black and white in the shape of chessboard. That almost transparent white part was her favorite rare cheesecake. The elegant black part was a slightly bitter gateau au chocolate, okay. Now it became the ceiling, became molten, and several billion cakes were thrown down towards Rosa. I don't know if we'll have another episode in this week of Umineko. Probably we will have, but I'm using so much time for this episode. Wow. I will try to put the second episode of Umineko in this week as well. It depends how much YouTube will hate music in this one, because it's going to take a lot of time to actually upload this. The longer episode, the worse times are. If you peel these cakes up, they would surely be taller than Mount Everest, so they probably waited. I'm not too sure, but I will bet it was heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together. It fell down like a ceiling and swallowed Rosa up. Great! So as a very, very natural result, Rosa was crushed to death. In less than a second, her bones broke through her body and her insides were all smashed and forced out. Even so, an even greater number of cakes piled up on top of it, and Rosa ended up as a layer of jam wedged between them. She became as thin as a single hair, and was probably spread out over the area of a tennis court. That world, swallowed up by the cake, was once again absorbed by a gold flash. Then, as though it had all been a dream, Rosa was revived once again. Of course, it definitely wasn't a dream. She had been revived after dying. By that point, death, which most humans only have to experience once after they're born, has already been experienced repeatedly by Rosa. In other words, she gone through that which humans cannot, the precious experience of dying more than once. Wow. This laugh of Eva Beatrice is so broken. It sounds like some kind of broken doll. Oh my god, butterflies, okay. Laughing innocently, she pointed her gold staff at Rosa as she begged for mercy. When she did, Rosa glittered gold and rapidly began to shrink. She shrunk down to the size of a real butterfly. Then gold wings sprouted from her back, and she joined her fellow gold butterflies. However, while a human body could withstand that wind, it was a different matter for a butterfly body. Great. The gold butterfly Rosa was invited to dance by each gale of wind, and she spun in circles around the rose garden. As her dance wore her out, she was caught by a gentle bed. It was soft, neat hammock in the shadows beneath the roof of the arbor. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcoming its rare guest. Quite wonderful. I know what it is. I didn't. That might be the most terrifying death. You know what it is? Owner of hammock. Of hammock, sorry. And she's size of the butterfly. I think that's a spider. I think she's going to be devoured by spider. The owner, which should have been small enough to crush in the palm of your hand, now looked as big as the top of canopy bed to Rosa. Let me know in the comments if you're afraid of spiders. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, pretty much. Wow. Shit. Fuck! Yes, she can! What is that? I love the Eva Beatrice faces, but I don't think she can beat this. Yeah, that's what I thought, like, what she did when she got this first time. Wow.
わらわを認めればいつだって魔法を教え、人間の束縛を逃れた瞬間の喜びは筆舌に尽くしがたい。そなたに教えてやり、そなたの生み出す魔法の世界もぜひ一度見てみて。楽しくなってきただろう。魔法が使いたくなってきただろう。魔女もなかなかに楽しいものであるぞ。
Interesting statements. You remember how I said, like, I feel like maybe he's getting some portion of power to himself? Because he's in this place, like Berncastle said her story that she was imprisoned and she became witch because of that. Maybe I'm actually onto something. Well, sorry, in this episode I cannot make any scientific reasons. This was just too crazy for now. I just enjoyed the story, I guess, in this episode. I made some theories that would make sense to me in the first part of this episode, but now I'm just enjoying what's happening.
そなたには特別に教えてやる。一緒に空を飛ぶ喜びとか、一緒に海を潜る喜びとか、人間の制約を超えた瞬間に知る世界がどれほどに広く
There was no malice in Beato's expression. It was hard to believe, but she was genuinely enjoying this cruel show. And she wanted to share that appreciation with Butler. Butler was shocked by that hopelessly different sense of values.
もうやめろ、チキシャー。ワルギリア、このおかしな茶番を止めさせるんだ。どうすりゃいいんだ。
私たちは番外の存在です。
Yup. And what's the correlation? Like, where the fuck do you exist? Please explain this to me, game. My mind will go crazy now when I start thinking about this again.
盤上には触れられません。
Virgilia shook her head apologetically. Her body had already been killed. But if they cannot touch the board, then how Beatrice was inside the board and gave her power to Eva? It makes no sense. If they're like outside of board and cannot interact, then Beatrice should not be able to interact as well. Unless she's just cheating, because she was at the Endless Witch, and she could do whatever she wants. And now she is actually on the board. Not by herself, but as a Beatrice, you know? But yeah, this is actually weird. That's why this Beatrice actually managed to manifest herself inside the game. Give her power and interact, actually. Because this is not the different instance of Beatrice, because this Beatrice gave her name. She said to Butler that she gave her name and she's Beato now. So its only conclusion is that she somehow managed to interfere and interact with the game itself while they cannot. As Beatrice continued to look amused in an insane sort of way, Butler lifted her up by the collar and yelled at her.
やめろやめろやめろ。いい加減にしろ、魔女め。あれがエヴァおばさんだってのか。ありえない。俺の知ってるエヴァおばさんはこんな残酷なことをする人じゃ断じてありえない。全てお前のまやかしだ。ローザおばさんをもてあそぶな。エヴァおばさんをもてあそぶ。今すぐこの茶番を止めさせ。
だからローザと遊んでいるのはもうわらわではないというに。
Yeah.
新しきベアトリーチェだというに。そんなにギャーギャーわめくほどに残酷か。そなたもこういうの実は結構好きだろ。実はちょっぴり魔法に興味を持ってきて。
Oh? Did he hit her?
何をする。
Oh! Oh! Ooh! didn't sound like a slap, but okay. For the first time, Butler slapped Beato's cheek. Holy shit! Okay. Well, she had that coming to her. At least that. Beatrice didn't know. I mean, we should call her Beato at this point. So game, please don't make mistakes. Didn't know why he had done something like that to her, and a surprised expression rose to her face. Butler especially couldn't forgive that expression, and he roared. Wow. What a face. He's so mad. He's so mad. And with that face expression, I think I will end this episode actually. I don't know how long this chapter will be. I mean, what will happen next? After this talk, we'll probably have still Beatrice, Eva Beatrice and Rosa in the garden. But I will see what Butler will have to say in the next episode. So yeah, I think we can expect the next episode in this week. This is just so good. It's ended such a good phase. Wow. Anyway, that was great. So yeah. So thank you for joining. Leave up a like if you like the video. Join up the Discord if you want to talk more about Umineko. Make some memes maybe and music from Umineko and stuff like, I don't know, other visual novels and stuff. Yeah, we are mostly on Discord with actually a Muramasa community, you know? Like, most of the people on Discord right now are from Muramasa. And they're so freaking active. So, join up and fight them on. I mean, cooperate. Anyway, thanks for joining, and I will see you in the next one. So for now, Pocket Watch is going out.